Hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody, to my Caitlin's Music City Skinny, my weekly Facebook Live. If you are rewatching this on YouTube, I want to say welcome and thank you for checking out my channel. So today's topic is going to be a really timely topic. We're actually talking about escalation clauses. So you may be asking yourself, what is this? This is a great tool to put in your back pocket when it comes to buying in a seller's market, which is exactly what we're seeing right now. Now, of course, each transaction can look a little bit different. And so this isn't going to be a hard and fast rule that you need to use it on every offer that you put in when you're in a seller's market. This is something for you to just be aware of, to know that it is an option. And of course, you always want to talk to your agent about using it as you're writing up a contract. This can absolutely help you win bidding wars. I know that it has helped me and my clients multiple times, but again, each situation can look a little bit different. So we're going to dive into it, figure out what is an escalation clause, what are some things you should consider when it comes to using it. So let's go ahead and jump into today's topic, which again, like I said, is all about the escalation clause. Okay, so let's see. First things first. Let's talk about what is an escalation clause. So basically, it's going to be a tool that can potentially help strengthen your offer as a buyer. So it's basically this clause that gets put into the purchase and sale contract that kind of dictates the purchase price, right? So I'll give you a little bit of an example because it may not make sense, right? So an escalation clause is basically you're writing an offer on a property and it's going to sound something to the effect of, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I am offering you X price. But if another offer comes in that is equal to or above said X price, I am willing to increase my offer to Y. So it really can help you because, here's the thing. As a buyer, even in a seller's market, you still don't want to overpay for the home. At the same time, if you really love the home, you don't want to risk losing out on that home because, like I said, we are in a complete seller's market right now. If a home is marketed right, if it shows well, if it is priced right, it is going in a matter of days, just depending on how long the listing agent kind of allows it to stay open to get in as many offers as possible. I know of situations where there are 7 offers, others where there are 22 offers. So this is a really great tool just to have in your back pocket. So, let's kind of like maybe give you more of an example and put dollar amounts to help you maybe better wrap your mind around the escalation clause. So let's say buyer A offers $350 or $350,000 on the home that they love, but they put in that escalation clause that says they will pay $1,000 more than any offer that comes in up to a certain amount. So say they do not want to exceed $360. So they will pay $1,000 over any offer that comes in up to $360. So then you have buyer B that comes in with an offer of say $355 and they have no escalation clause. They are just coming in straight. That's their best offer. Well, then buyer A is going to end up paying instead of $350, as long as it's a verifiable offer, which is something that I always want to put in there because you don't, as much as you want to believe that every agent is acting as ethically as possible, you do just want to make sure that they're not saying, oh, well, we got an offer that was X when they don't really have it. So you do want to say a verifiable offer. But so basically in that example, buyer A's offer would go from being $350 because the other one came in at $355 and they said they pay $1,000 over. They would now be paying $356 as the purchase price. So again, these are things to play with. Again, you do not want to overpay for a home in a seller's market. At the same time, you don't want to be lying awake thinking, well, what if I had just gone to this amount and you lost out on your dream home? So it's really it's of course situational to whatever it is, to each transaction. They're not all one and the same. So you do want to talk to your agent, ask if this is something that they think is good, because here's the thing. Sometimes as much as you can look at an escalation clause and say, this is going to be my best tactic, there are some times that a seller would much rather you come right out the gate, offer your very highest and best number and leave it at that, rather than saying, well, hey, I want to pay you this, but I could go here. You know, sometimes they can think, well, if you can go here, why not just go here? So, you know, it can look to the seller like sometimes you're playing a game of let's see what I can get for the home. And sometimes that can be a turnoff. So again, this is completely situational. Now, if a seller is only focused on what that highest and best number is, an escalation clause is great, because at the end of the day, if your escalation clause, if your amount exceeds what the other highest bid is, they're still going to end up with more money. And so if that is, if their true motivation is ultimately what price they're getting for their home, of course the escalation clause can work. Now you may be asking yourself, well, how do we know these things? Well, again, that's where me or your agent comes in, where they're going to call the listing agent that represents the seller, ask them what is most important to them. What is the seller ultimately hoping to get out of the sale? Do they want to close quickly? Do they, do they need more time to stay in the home? So having your agent discuss with the listing agent what's most important can also help you determine if an escalation clause is going to work in your best benefit, that, you know, when it comes time for you to write the offer. So I hope that this explains escalation clauses a little bit better. You know, if we kind of want to backtrack and look at it again, it's basically saying like, you know, this is what we're paying, but we are willing to go. Typically, you put in the amount of $1,000. You can say, hey, we're willing to pay up to $2,000 over the highest offer, not to exceed X number. So, you know, you can play around with it. If it's a home you really love and you financially know that, you know, you're comfortable going to that highest number if you need to, great. Go for it. This is just another tool for you as a buyer to be informed and put in your back pocket, because it's kind of like, if anybody knows me, they know that I love the game of football. And so with football, thankfully, there's Astro. With football, thankfully, coming back soon, you know, you don't want to be like, you basically need to come to play like you're going to play for the national championship when you're buying in a seller's market. You don't come to like play a flag football game. You need, as a buyer, to be completely like suited up, ready to go, ready to, you know, take on this market. And you know what, you're gonna, when you find the home you love and you end up in it, it's ultimately all worth it. So I hope this was helpful. If you do have any questions about escalation clauses, contracts, buying, even selling, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can DM me, send me an email, text me, call me, whatever it is you need. But I hope that everyone has a fabulous week, and I will see you next time.